unajua, it was a catch-22 situation and I was just a 19-year-old kid. Haikuwa fault yangu, haikuwa fault yake pia, labda tusingizie tu bia. Heels kwa armpits, she was head over heels into me. Unajua, this was new to me. That was too much skin, too much thighs, too much cleavage, sanity draining fast on a leakage. It was my first time. Sikuwa nataka at first, but after kunibaya time na thoughts kadhaa, I felt light. Wewe unajua, kuna seduction na seduction light. Girl child ko blow kisses za moshi kuni confuse. Ilikuwa freshers bash, noise kwa background pole pole kaanza ku reduce. Akanikalia kwa laps. Heart yangu ikaanza ku race. Relay kwa trial flag ni half mast bila delay. Midnight ika clock Cinderella. Only this time atukuacha viatu tukacha simu. Mina girl child tipsy, mina girl child tukashikanisha lipsy. It was my first time, na hata wewe unajua. She was the master now. Unge prevent baluchorea, who's smarter now? She got sensual. Nikaanza lose my senses. How we got to a bed sitter. Sijui when we got to a bed sitter. Sikuwa na idea clear until alipo undress. Fear ikanishika ko aliposema she wants to be choked. I was cold, she was dripping hot. It was my first time kuwa dragged to bed. Kuwa dragged to be bedded. Nikataka kumsukuma, but akanikalia kwa waist. Nikataka kumsimama, but akalock mikono yangu na yake. Nikataka kushout, but every second spent felt dizzy. Kwa reach out for my dizzy. Everything felt heavy then. Now my heart is still heavy. Alikuwa 4th year. Na sasa nasikia kuna watoto 4. None are mine. Her last scene ilikuwa usiku K Street akimine. Her last scenes zikinitocha kunipeleka cloud 9. Scars, trauma, nightmares. Wale boys wali to link up. Bado nafikiri kwa nafanya Kijana Ya Pasta favor. At I believe nilikuwa victim. Bado wao sema najua ulijibamba bro, wacha kutafuta attention. She was 24 bila protection. Sija heal. Hata wewe unajua. It was my first time. That one time that put me on drugs for the rest of my life. Bado na try to live. Be positive.
Right. Remember when we started the program, we told you we are going to have a surprise today, and it's Entertainment Friday, and today we're having one guy who does poetry. How are you, Maze?
I'm fine, man.
Those words are just amazing. You're like a walking dictionary. Yeah? I can define you as a guy with distinctive style and rhythm. Nangalia how your words, and I've been looking how you're doing this, and it's just amazing how you do it.
Shukran, Maze. Shukran.
And also when you wonder what poets do most of the time, they literally help us be able to cope with some of the issues we are facing in life. And you look at, maybe we look at their words, it's words of comfort. We take them as words of comfort most of the time. Unapata msee ako down, and getting to hear what you say, getting to see what you're doing at the moment, and I feel, Maze, I have someone who is out there anaongea what I'm literally feeling. And it's so good. Welcome to EBN TV, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
In fact, you're the first guest we are hosting on Entertainment Friday.
Ashkuru, man. It's an honor. It's an honor.
it's an honor.
Yeah.
And also, you express ideas so well, and I've been looking at different platforms you've gone to, and looking at what you've been doing most of the time. And the first thing I would just want you to tell us is who is Revolutionary Spitter. Maze, hiyo jina hapa ameingia, and when I was talking to him nasema what L karibu iguzane na L na L ikuwe R. How did you come up with that, Maze man?
Revolutionary Spitter. So first of all, let me say who I am. I'm a poet, performing poet, as you've seen. Me pia ni actor. I write. I also work with kids in training them how to do performing arts, generally kwa drama, yani theater. Generally me kwa consultant kwa the creative world. That's what I do at the moment. And how I came up with the name, I don't know, it just came yani. Ilikuja to that. Okay, I was Peter at first, Peter the poet, but then I went on Facebook.
Yeah, spitting words of wisdom, right?
Yes. But on Facebook, trying to open my account, I see there's so many spitters.
Trying to spit the same thing, and you found out you are unique in your own way.
Yeah, so I had to add revolutionary pale, also to define the kind of works I do, because they are revolutionary works. Yeah.
Remember, you can get in touch with us. You can send in your questions on Facebook at EBN TV, at Brian Alusa, on Twitter at TV_EBN, at B_Alusa. You can also send in a message at 23993. Now, moving forward, how like you've told us that you went on Facebook, you were searching for, you wanted to see if there's someone else who doesn't have your name, ukapata ni wengi ukajua wow. But you look at the content. Did you look like ukaona now? Did revolutionary now come in because of the content you're doing you yourself?
Yeah, it came in because of the kind of content I do. I've always been an unconscious person in what I want to write or how I want to express my things. And from the place I was coming from, I was raised in Mombasa. A lot of poets peer around me at that moment were doing we are doing works connected to anti-terrorist terrorism practices, anti-child sex trafficking, because those are those are the big issues coming up on the Mombasa youth scene, or rather youth platforms. Yeah, so I found that name defining me, and I've been living it yani.
No, umesema kitu ya maana, umesikia amesema he's from the coastal region.
Yeah.
And the way you spitting English, my friend, it's just on another level. We are used to seeing that guys from the coast ni wale Waswahili wenyewe. You know, you get to see, you meet a guy from coast, unasikia Kiswahili imepigwa pasi, imenyooka hivi. But look at you, you're doing good in the English world, and you're literally doing it, man.
Nashukuru.
And also now, when did you discover that you can literally do poetry like you yourself? When did it come, and how did you start it?
Right. The first poem I wrote was in class 7.
Wow.
That was the first poem I wrote.
What was I doing in class 7? Oh my God. Class 7, he was writing poems, man. That's big.
Yeah, it was for Taifa Leo have this. I think they have a page where they show poems from students kituka hiyo. So our Kiswahili teacher then akatuambia, hebu andikeni mashairi kuhusiana na janga la ukimwi. Nikaandika shairi langu pale. Katika ile mashairi yaliyochaguliwa, langu likawa moja wapo.
Wow, that's quite, you've changed.
I've changed.
Changed from English to Swahili. Something you cannot do on a broad daylight. Broad daylight.
So katika ile hali, like my poem was picked, and it kanipa the confidence that so my work can be you know taken up for such platforms. Then when I joined high school, now I went to the Shimolatewa school. So pale Shimolatewa nikawa na nafasi nzuri ya kuinteract na the libraries, other people from different walks of life. I think me also joining the drama club ili build sana confidence yangu and my literature mind. So that's when I began writing in Form 2. By Form 3 I was doing my first show at Swahili Port Hub.
Now you have a shout out. I think there's someone who went to the school you went to, and it's Welsi Kiyama. He said that this guy is attended the same school, high school. He's such a talented guy from a blessed family. He said that you're going far. You're going far.
Shukran Wesley.
And people are literally looking at your work, and you've literally told us you started at class 7. Man, umenipiga 10-0. Mimi at class 7 ndo si tuka tunatumua majani, tunarudi in the evening. You at class 7 you were writing something, my friend. Oh man. And also now, for how long have you doing this poetry, like from class 7? Is there a place ulifika ukaona like unaweza acha? Is there something like that? But we'll get to that. But just tell us for how long you'll be doing it.
Let me count from when I left high school. So I'd say like 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
And the biggest platform you've ever gone to?
Biggest platform? I don't know. Poetry Slam. Poetry Slam, I think that's the biggest platform. Also did some works with Fomunigani. The campaign against, not really against, but campaign for contraception and sexual education in the young folks. And yeah, I think, no, actually, no, there's a bigger platform. There are bigger platforms. I just won an award last night.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a regional award.
Wow.
Lenga Ugaidi na Talanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should be getting that.
There. Yes.
And congratulations, man. And that is where we want to see our youth heading to. And also, it's a big move to you also as a poet and looking at poetry itself in general. Another question is, do your parents support what you do? Like, ushaisikia kuna watu wanasema, nilianza music and my dad was like, hey, in this house, you're not getting in this house. Where enda umeamua muziki, just go. Potea na uende. Do your parents support what you do?
My parents support what I do 100%. But okay, babangu pia ni msanii wa televisheni.
So tuseme ilikuwa inherited.
Not really inherited. We also worked on our own to build what you have right now. But I didn't have ati sasa because Zepe ni msanii ati do whatever you want to do. He still calls to check my grades. He still calls to see if I'm in class and attending classes.
So you're talking about attending classes. You currently...
I'm a student.
Wow, you're a student?
Yes. At the Multimedia University of Kenya. I study procurement and logistics management.
Hiyo hata sitaki kusema kitu. You had that course and okay, go on. And now you say that your dad was also an artist and umesema umejibuild wewe mwenyewe. Is there a place anakujanga like anakusupport apart from checking the grades, let's say like maybe financially or something to support, maybe you're trying to do a video or something, you want to go to the studio, is there a way they usually support you?
Wazazi wangu wamenisupport sana. Apart from just the resources, pia moral, because it's not every day you go out and win. The times you'll go out there and fail, but they're always there to encourage you, to keep us going. And they've given us that environment for us to, by us I mean mimi na my brothers who also wasanis.
So unasema the whole family, it's all about talent. Tukikuja pale
kitu kama hiyo,
ni anachapa ile, una anachapa ile, and then you in the poet world.
Kitu kama hiyo.
Kwetu huko. Mimi tu ndo naongea. So he has been supporting you, and that's a positive move. Unapata msanii anasema that my dad always supports me and my mom is always there for me. It's a good one. Alafu umesikia also he calls in checking the grades. Unajua unapata ngawale ushesikia the stories that mimi niliingia tu even dad was like in my house, my friend, and a concert. Hapa usikanyage. Ulale huko kwa concert.
They're always there to check.
They're always there. Okay, now how do you compose some of your pieces or your new pieces? What inspires it? Is it from your past, basically your story? Is it about a friend's experience? Do you compose them when you're having the audience in mind? Or how do you come up with your piece? This is close to when you're going to perform somewhere. Do you have the audience? Do you choose a piece that goes with the audience itself? Maybe you look at the age, you look at the number, is that males or females? How do you come up with that? First of all, how do you start composing your piece?
Wow, that's a very diverse. But I think that there are three main ways. Way number one is impulse. Umeketi kwa matatu, pengine madhia ameingia, mtoto analia, ameona peremende ya mwenzake. That cry inakugonga kitu, una feel this kid maybe an express hajakula tangu jana, kitu kai hiyo, yani you know, I'm just paraphrasing. So such occurrences you meet in everyday world zina create impulses, una feel tu let me write. There's so many pieces I've written kwa matatu, nikitembea, imekuja tu because of something you've seen and imeku nini. Way number two, as you said, ni audience. Pengine wamba mazee on Sunday there's an event blah blah blah, we need this kind of piece and this kind of audience, so you write for them. Or rather for the people you want to talk to, kama ni watoto, kama ni watu wazima, kitu kama hiyo. And way number three, kuna hiyo sasa like writing for a cause. And for example, you know, like right now issues za GBVs zimekuwa ziki grow up, issues za mental health, you know, the youth. So I think there are those three main ways that surround every other writing, but there's not really a formula.
No formula.
There's no formula.
But the best thing umesema, so wewe ukitembea kwa barabara you see something, unasema man, that's a piece, that's a line, that's something that I should be writing about. And then mostly niko sure you write something that can have impact, right? You have people at heart, because you look at things that people go through every single day, and that is why you come up with that. And now mmejua how revolutionary Speaker does it, and that's how he does it. Akikuona pale anaona maybe you're doing this and saying man, that's a piece, that is something I should be writing. Now moving on, I want to ask you something. Your achievement so far as you what have you done so far? The strides you've made, you've said that you've done it for 3 years. Now we'll be talking about when you started. Are you happy to where you are at the moment from where you started?
I'm grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for the many platforms I've walked into, and my achievements so far, I would say stages nimepanda yani, hizi ni vitu. When I was back in Mombasa, I used to dream of one day nitaka kukuwa nile stage na umse. So sharing stages with most of the prolific poets in Nairobi has been an achievement for me. Also, I told you I don't only do poetry. So in the other world, nimekuwa nikitrain watoi pale Starehe Boys Center and Girls tukifanya musicals. So we've done shows with the kids, successful shows. That also was a moment of achievement. We recently published a book. It's called When We Speak.
Wow.
Yeah, by my friends and family. They're called Rafinki. And these are poetry anthology. Right now tunaisakulisha kwa shule for poetry classes, English literature, vitu hizo. This is also an achievement.
So where can people get this book?
This book is
a platform where they can get.
Yeah. In some bookstores. I will on my social medias mtaona hizo platforms. But yeah, it's out there right now. The book only goes for 700 shillings peke yake. So
your social media handle so that people can be able to go there and get the information about the book itself.
My social media handles kote from YouTube to wherever is Revolutionary Spitter, from the word revolution. Spitter, SPITTER. Also on platforms like stream music, that is iTunes, Spotify. I have my album there.
I was to talk about that. You just went ahead and I was to ask you the same question. Now give me the platform to now ask you that. Now you've talked about your achievements, and the book is one of them. Man, I've seen your album. That thing is just amazing. The words and how you compose them. Now you listen to that, you can also tell people where they can get your album, simply because it's just pure magic, pure. When you listen to that, if you're having a problem, that is where you can go to and just feel like, there's someone who can really understand me. So where can they get your album, and how many songs does your album entail, and where they can literally get it? My album, Kijana Ya Pasta, the album, is partly inspired by my own stories and zengine ni mabeste. It's available on all digital streaming platforms from iTunes, Spotify, Boomplay, Deezer, nimesahau hizo majina zingine, but ukienda tu search Revolutionary Spitter or Kijana Ya Pasta the album, utazipata huko kote. 7 tracks. This piece I've just done is track number 1 of the album. Hizo zingine tunaenda kusikiza kwa nini. That is if you want to stream. But kuna mshaina kubai pia, kuna wale ambao wanataka kuwe na hizo ngoma on their storage, their devices. On their devices. So you buy the album at 700 shillings peke yake. So only 7. So on which platform, to be precise, they can be able to get there's a till number. Also on my socials you'll see all the details on how to get the album. Buy the till, I send to your email, unajibamba nawe yani. I've listened to Kijana Ya Pasta. What literally inspired you to write that? Is there from past experience of past there's something that happened to you feel like I should be able to tell people that this thing is real? I've been seeing the youth themselves going through a lot in the country. Was it inspired by your past experience or someone else's experience? Yeah, it was partly inspired by my own experiences. Because I wrote this sometime in lockdown 2020. So when COVID was just so nilipata time ya ku self introspect. Pia kuna stories tu nimetaka for a while nikielezea. Me being raised by literally mimi ni kijana ya pasta, literally. So you're born and raised by the principles of the church. Yes. Wow. So there's been a lot of caging and profiling of these kids that I need to address. Yeah, unasikia mtoto pastor has to do this, akifanya hivi it's very wrong. Yes. So there's a track on that album called Family Photo where I discuss all these issues, and I think mwenye ame grow up in such an environment ata connect and relate that this guy is trying to make us feel that we're not alone, and people outside need to kutukubali in this particular way that we want to be accepted. So and then the rest of the stories too from my friends, yani wase
walikuwa down, wase wana need motivation, wase wenye wame sacrifice a lot to put themselves out there. Stories body shaming for men, stories molestation for the boy child. So it's a whole experience that I think you all should go and have.
And also, we cannot stop about talking with the achievements without going to the challenges. Like so far, you as a poet, what have you gone through, and what can you say about it?
I think one big challenge, not really big, which affects not only poets but the rest of the artists, there has to be a better system to sustain artists' lives. You know, we can't live without resources. We have to live with resources. We have to fund our videos. We have to fund our audios. Producers need to be, you know, paid for their services. We need bigger platforms that appreciate us as poets and as performing poets, rather than chua say wakukata and raise events. Unajua, we need more recognition and acknowledgement as poets, and I think that is something that is slowly opening up. But yeah, tunataka nafasi yetu, man. I have the videos of mine coming out. Tunafaa tufike point yenye kama station inacheza video ya Otile Brown, after Otile Brown wacha Spita ingie pale na video yake, you know, like inclusivity in the mainstream scene, because the cake is big, we can share it and we can all survive with it.
Okay, Jonte Nicholas says that show of the year, revolutionary spita, poet with class. So that's quite word there. And also Geoffrey Mbidi says revolutionary spita, one of the greatest poet around. Hashtag Siri ni moja. Now you've talked about different, and a lot of people are coming and say that they're following the show and following your story itself. And also he has also talked about he has been raised under the principles of the church, and that is what inspired him to come up with Kijana Ya Pasta. Now you've talked about the airtime being given to poet, to the poet guys, and it's something you've also talked about, and we shall be looking at into that also on our end, also see if us the guys of the media can also try and play a certain song with something that goes with our principles, then we pick the song. Now you've done quite some song. Now the best one that literally liked myself, this goes out to our fathers. Can you perform that piece for us? Is it possible?
It's been long since I rehearsed that. I'm not really sure I'll kick it. Yeah, but it's on my YouTube. Wale say what on YouTube ataicheki. Iko pale. That was for the Slam Africa competition. Yeah. So
do you have a favorite of all this?
A favorite? My favorite track has to be Nijaze. Nijaze, track number 6 off the album again. That I did with my brother Joseph Wanda. Shout out to Wanda. He's an amazing vocalist and musician. And why I love this track is because it simply sums up my journey, where I am at the moment, where I was looking at and connecting to my spirituality and saying mazee Mungu asante kwa ile jani nimefika sahi na mali nanipeleka. And it's so like every time I listen to it, yani inanipa that motivation to keep going. So Nijaze, I think that has to be it, yani. And
have you done some collabs with some of the best poet, like Poet Andrew and the guys?
Collabs are coming. I think for the moment I wanted this album, by the way, I've not involved any other poet, just musicians. I work with one, as I said, I work with a lady called Maya, amazing vocalist. Then so now that wasema nijua as mimi from Kijana Ya Pasta, there are so many collabs coming through. We've been working, man. We've been in studio writing and recording. Hata nitoka hapa na a studio session. So stay tuned. A lot of dope work coming out.
Umesikia amesema he looks at something and gets inspired. Maybe amekuja hapa akakuwa inspired with something. Maybe I'll get a verse inasema a loser somewhere.
We'll put it.
So thank you very much for creating time for us. And it's around 8 and that's where we want to wrap our show this morning. This is what will be happening every Friday. It will be Entertainment Friday. We'll be bringing guests into studio, guys who have talent just like Revolutionary Spitter. I'm being careful with that name simply because R can be L and L can be R at the same time. So we'll be bringing guys who are very talented, and remember, he is talented. He's words of wisdom. You can go to his various social media platforms and find out his work and what he has done. But help me closing and helping us with a piece, any piece of your own as we wrap up the show. Thank you very much for creating time for us. And welcome. You'll always be welcomed if you feel like you want to come back.
Nashukuru. Means a lot.
Thank you.
Before I actually do the piece, I want to kuna achievements mbili nilisahau. Ni muhimu sana nizitaje. Bana, I've won 2 awards in a span of like a month and a half.
Wow.
Award number 1 was IGAD for peace, International Intergovernmental Authority for Development. Iyo ya Horn of Africa. I won award IGAD Peace Poems for the peace campaign. And jana, like I said, nilishinda Lenga Ugaidi na Talanta, the poetry category. And I think it is important niseme pia kwa sababu kuna watu behind, there's a team behind wenye they've made all this possible, na ni poa sana ni wa credit yani, unacheki. So my producer Imara Nyale pale yani at Lucid Sounds Nairobi, Wanda, Cardiac Poet, the team is big yani, unaona. Na like I always say, siri ni moja bro. Na siri ni kuwa msanii.
Siri ni kuwa msanii.
It
says, and thank you very much, coaches. I hope that you will be entertained, coaches, on Monday at the exact time 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. This is Morning Live. My name is Brian Alusa. Have a good day.
Assassination na karma itakuwa doomsday kwa wengi. Wengi wameishi kucast the perpetrators. Sunday morning kwa magoti, speaking in tongues, mkiomba hao wakatwe ndimi, vitanza ndimi, vilikomile kwa mdomo wa kigugumizi, meza pride usiro. Mistakes ni mistakes, hata Saint Peter alikuwa taint maker. What goes around might not come around. Healing ni process complex na unlike mali safi, haiendangi chain kwa throat na depression, chain thoughts ukimeditate oppression. Victim mentality imekufunga nyororo, na hii sauti si ya kutonyoka pangoni. Si kema na lisha evolve ka turntables kama yule DJ. Heal ndio kesho CJ ukatia doa next heal. Forgiveness ni free na ina equate to freedom. Mkilegalize mwisho mwezi mapedi watamoonwalk. Watch how your mouth talk. Humans ni sensitive na payback haijawahi kwa solution. Distract yako itahit na views punch, lakini baada kutakuwa na reception. Comeback ni option. Usafute clout na screenshots za my exes, double it out of proportion. Immaturity yako inahitaji morning devotion. Heal. Akikublue tick, maybe aliparticipate kwa Blue Economy Conference. Kuna wenzake atablue tick for 5 years. Usihold grudge for years. Itakuchok kuliko coke baridi na mkate kubwa. Kuwa na roho kubwa ya kuteki mapito ya dunia. Don't fake smiles to look okay. Picha uchi ya zai ya ushikwa na constipation. So find a friend, find a stranger, open up, let loose your anger. Bitter truth, ceases to be bitter. Ukiongeza limau inakuwa sawa. Heal, bro sikonde. Usikubali kamba ikunyonge. Heal, kumove on haitakufanya uonekane mnyonge. Heal, hata kama is current chick doesn't match your thick. Ladies, don't match sticky scar. Cardiac Poet says there are plenty of fish in the sea. Akinyesha, vat trench coat ende zako, simwite mtaro. Where are your manners? It is what it is, you can do better. So please, take a step back to reflect. Don't take a step back to throw stones. Heal, clear conscience. Get back to your consciousness. Heal. Don't pull out yet, because brighter days are yet to come. Peace.